Hey, good morning to my subscribers in the Philippines. Good evening to my subscribers in America and beyond. I'm Calvin. Welcome to my channel, Sunshine Shoulders. Special welcome to my viewers and subscribers, my new viewers and new subscribers. I'm a 57-year-old American who decided in December 2018 to pack it all up and move to the Philippines in search of a new life. I found that new life, and I want to share my experiences with you, my boots on the ground experiences. And I can only do that one way, by giving you the nitty gritty. That's just exactly what I'm seeing, what I'm living, what I'm experiencing. I'm not going to sugarcoat it today. I want to talk to you about Filipina secrets of a happy marriage. I did a survey on my community channel of couples that had been together at least 20 years or longer, Filipino foreigner relationships. And I want to thank the 15 responses that I got back, actually. Uh, and it ranged from one couple had been together for 11 years, and the one couple had been together for 32 years. So it ranged from 11 years to 32, 26, 18. And it always interests me why these relationships are able to work, because a lot of times if you look at my channel, what I do is I kind of give guys the warning signs of what to look for, the red flags, the flashing red lights when things aren't right, okay? But I decided to flip it around and talk about the relationships that do work. And why do they work? There's so many cultural differences between the Filipino and the foreigner. And, you know, I got some really interesting responses. Of course, everybody talked about, trust, commitment, respect, all the things that you would normally hear in a marriage that's been successful. But no one really went into detail. No one talked about, the bedroom. No one talked about passion. No one talked about romance. But only in a general way did they talk about it. So I had to sort of read between the lines on a lot of this stuff. And not every couple that's been together that long is happy. Some of them are dealing with tolerance. One guy says, there's been more downs than ups, but they've hung in there. And I think it's for the children, he said. And what I found different about his relationship was she was 6 years older than he. And of course, in the Filipino foreigner relationship, that dynamic, the foreigner's always the oldest normally. Okay. But I commended him on sticking in there for the children, and because I did a video several months ago. It was titled "A Good Woman in the Philippines is as Good as It Gets." And in the video I said the most successful foreigners that I meet over here in the Philippines are the ones who have stayed with one Filipina. They didn't have multiple relationships. They were fortunate enough to find that one, love of their life, and it's paid off for them. And one gentleman fit that description. Him and his Filipino wife have been together for 32 years. They've raised 2 sons. They have a beautiful home in Guam. They own a beautiful home here in the Philippines. They visit here pre-pandemic a couple of times a year. He fit that dynamic, and he didn't say it, but it was all about love and romance. They used to work together on a job, because he's retired twice from jobs. I mean, he's 70, she's 54. Now, they've met, you do the math. They've been together 32 years. So he was 38, and let's see, that means she was 22. But they worked on a job together, and they worked in the same department. And they would take their lunch breaks together. And people on the job would say, man, you spend all your time with your wife. He said, you even take your lunch breaks with her. He said, don't you get tired of your wife? He said, you work with her 8 hours a day, then you have to go home with her and spend all your time with her. He said, why would I marry somebody who I didn't love to be around? He said, I love my wife. I love her company. and it's no problem for us. He said, but those are the type of things that he would run into on his job, and I found that really interesting. You know, it was really romantic. It was sweet of him to say that, and it's a wonder they've been together 32 years. He's got an attitude like that. Again, he's very successful because he stayed with that one lady, that one Filipina. See, that's that commitment. Because, you know, now I'm not generalizing anybody, but most Filipinos, you know, they're committed to their relationship. Now, I'm not generalizing. This is just what I've seen in my 12 years of being here on and off. One couple, one response I thought was interesting, and I don't know why, but he decided to put in there white guy and Filipino. I don't know why he put that in there, but it doesn't bother me in the least bit. But he said that they spoil each other. He says that they're both successful, so they live an extravagant lifestyle in the United States, and that's one of the ways they've been able to stay together. They buy, you know, they like fancy cars, fancy homes, jewelry. They like the whole 9 yards, you know. And most people that I talk to who are in a relationship with Filipinas, that's one thing that they don't ever mention, because, you know, Filipinas and Filipinos, especially over here, they live a simple lifestyle, and that's one of the things that was so appealing to me. It's one of the reasons I came here, because of the simple lifestyle. I was trying to get away from all that materialistic lifestyle, that rat race over in America. So when he said that, yeah, she likes all the glamour and all the glitz, I believe they met in America. One of the couples did meet in America, and they've been together for 31 years. And I was like, wow, but that makes sense, okay? Because I believe that my soon-to-be ex-wife, whoever she marries over there, they're probably going to stay together the rest of her life. Because remember, we were together 10 years. I don't consider that a bad marriage. You know, we didn't argue, we didn't fight, but our dreams were not the same. See, when I met my wife over here, the reason I chose her and the reason I wanted to marry her is because she told me she didn't want to live in America. She said, no, she was okay living in the Philippines, living a better life in the Philippines. So I said, okay. And so I went to work on making that dream a reality. Now, you have to understand, at that time, I didn't have enough passive income to retire full-time to the Philippines. So in June of 2014, I brought her and our son to the United States. And the plan was, we'll live there 4 years. Once I build up my passive income, then we'll come back to the Philippines and we'll live the rest of our lives here. Well, the 4 years passed. The plan worked out. We came here, well, 6 months later, she was ready to go back to the United States. Well, I'd given up everything. I'd given up everything of value I'd given to my children there. I had talked to all of my insurance clients and told them, hey, I'm stepping away from the insurance business for a while. I don't know if I'm ever coming back. Here's my number if you ever need me. Everything I had given up, and I wasn't going to turn around in 6 months and go back. But I didn't want to be a hindrance to her dreams. I didn't want to be an obstacle to her dream, you know, because those 4 years she fell in love with America. And, you know, the good job she had over there, she had established some friendships. But the bottom line was, that was the beginning of the end of our marriage. Because I was never living full-time in America again, especially not at that time. So when I came over here in December 2018, she went back home in June of 2019, and, you know, we've been separated ever since. You know, we still love each other, but it's not going to work because I'm not going to live in the United States anytime soon. So our son is over here. He goes to private school over here, and that's why I'm here. And I'm never going anywhere until he gets older and decides what he wants to do. He's a U.S. citizen. But back to the subject. The guy, he said he was born, I mean, they've been together for 31 years. He met her in the United States. They're happy. They have some cultural differences that they work through. And I kind of understand why their marriage was able to work, because she's probably Americanized, um, as a lot of Filipinos do when they come to America. I mean, I don't care if you don't even have to be Filipino. You can be Russian, you can be German. If you move to America, you're going to change, okay? And a lot of times it's not for the best, because you got that materialistic lifestyle over there. It's all about the individual. Where over here in the Philippines, it's about family. But I can understand why his marriage has worked, because she's become acclimated to the American lifestyle, and he basically has a Filipina American wife. And Filipinos are very easy to get along with. They're not confrontational. They don't like to argue, and that's one thing I really love about them, because I'm the same way. Okay, one guy said they're coming up on 11 years. Well, he's basically, when you're with a Filipina, that's like you're still on your honeymoon. I mean, really. Um, but like I said, no one went into any details that I would have liked more of, especially when you're going to do a vlog on why Filipino and foreigner relationships work. And see, I don't want to seem like a hypocrite and say, oh, well, your marriage didn't work. But it actually did work. Being together 10 years, that's a long time. That's a whole decade. And like I said, we didn't separate because we didn't love each other. Our dreams were just not the same. So I had to fill in some of the blanks. I know that, Filipinos are very committed. They're loyal. They're passionate. And, they have a reputation for taking care of their partner. And, if you're a Western man, the feminist movement has really taken over in your country. If you want a dinner, then cook it yourself. If you want your clothes iron it for yourself. Get your own water, make your own plate. It's all that, okay? But over here it's different. See, the Filipino doesn't have a problem doing that. So, but some of the things that I've noticed that makes these type of relationships work, because we have a lot in common, especially Americans. We're both old-fashioned. See, the American man, he's old-fashioned. You give him, you cook his dinner, you give him peace and sex. That's really all he needs, to be happy. So, he's really low maintenance, and Filipinos are low maintenance. Most Filipinos, they live a simple life. They're not going to ask you for money. They're not going to ask you to buy them expensive cars and jewelry and clothes and stuff like American women. So that's one of the reasons they're able to stay together. Again, they're old-fashioned. See, the man in America, he wants to be the leader of the house. And over here, everybody knows their role. There's no problem with the Filipina. She will be your partner. She'll be your companion. She'll let you be the leader of the family. She's not stupid, though. She's not going to follow a fool, okay? She'll follow you, provided you're going somewhere, okay? And the man likes that, so he likes to be the one to make the decisions, the final decisions, have the final say, and she's okay with that. That's another reason why they're able to stay together. Another reason they're able to stay together is just, in my opinion, and I said it before, is because everybody knows their role. There's no mixing of the roles. See, when I was married, I've been married to an American woman for 18 years. And one of the problems was she wanted to be a man, basically. And I said, well, if I wanted a man, I would have married a man. I want a woman. And she was very confrontational. Everything that I did, she wanted to do. And eventually we clashed, after 18 years. That's a long time. And the marriage fell apart because of that. But over here, you're not going to have a problem. Everybody has that well-defined role. Remember, I told you there's a man lying over here. and you better not cross it, and or it offend the woman over here. You know, there's certain things that she doesn't mind doing that she likes to do. Cooking, even though I like to cook and I can cook, well, my girlfriend does all the cooking. Even though I wash my own clothes at home, she won't let me wash clothes here. Even though we've got a wash machine and a dryer, I eat first at the table. She makes my plate. I don't have to put it in the sink. She does that. You know, it's the whole 9 yards. I mean, she would put on my socks for me if I wanted to, but I don't go that far. But there's well-defined roles here. So again, thanks all the respondents to my survey. I got some interesting answers, and there were some things missing that I thought would be there. But congratulations on the couples that have been together for 20 years or more, because, you know, again, I'm not a two-time loser, I'm a two-time winner. You know, when you've been married, you know, for 18 years, that's a long time. And no matter what happens, you can't consider that a bad marriage, okay? So thank you so much for joining me today. I really, really appreciate it. I'm here in the beautiful Bonita Beach Resort in Escalante City, Negros Occidental. We came here for a couple of days. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes from St. Carlos City, where I live. And, you know, travel is starting to open up a little bit in the Philippines during the pandemic. I was reading about Cebu, the province, not the city, opening up to local tourists. And when I read into that more, you need a medical certificate 72 hours out. Your reservations at the hotel or the resort already pre-booked. And then you do a symptom check, which here they have that little temperature gun that they put up to you and measure your temperature. And that's basically it upon arrival, upon departure. Because I love their governor there. I met her actually before in 2010 in a grocery store, Gwendolyn Garcia. She's very progressive. She really is for the Filipino people. And I mean, she's one of those politicians that she does, you know, look out for the people. And she's ready to open it back up. So if you're in America, you know, it's getting late. You know, before you let your head hit the pillow, please find somebody to help. If you're on one of those late grocery runs, beer runs, weed runs, you're just getting off work at second shift, and you see somebody on the street, buy them something to eat, buy them something to drink, give them a couple of dollars. If you're in the Philippines, it's early. It's about 8:15 a.m. in the morning. You have the whole rest of the day to find somebody. There's no excuse living here in the Philippines about not having anybody to help. There's a lot of people here that need help. There's not a day goes by that I don't help somebody here, even if it's just myself. Because if I don't know anything else, I know this one thing for sure. When we help other people, we help ourselves. Take care, stay safe, stay COVID free, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to have some updates today on Baby Denise, the repairs to Baby Denise's house. Go to my Sunshine Shoulders Facebook page. I'm going to put those up. Good luck tonight in the 1,000 peso pandemic drawing. And remember, that's only open to my Filipino subscribers, not to my other subscribers. That's just to give them some help during the pandemic. A lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of businesses closed. So we decided about 6 months ago to give away at least 1,000 pesos. Sometimes we do 2,000, sometimes we do 3,000. So thank you so much. Take care, and I'll see you next time.